Fucking Mojo, right? It's just nothing like him.
Mojo.
Jojo.
That's what I was just about to say.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's all right, man.
Okay, let's take it again. Mojo.
Mojo Jojo.
I know the reference.
An original thought had by all.
So yeah, welcome to the TV show X-Men 92, Season 3, Episode 10. We're doing 3 episodes this week because we're trying to get through the whole show in time for Season 2 of X-Men 97. So today we're going to do A Rogue's Tale, Beauty and the Beast, and Mojovision, which is like the lowest rated episode that we've run into so far on IMDb. It only gets a 5.9, but I have a feeling we're going to be...
How ironic.
Yeah, right? Like, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. For me, this might be my favorite episode yet.
I loved it. I mean, just spoiler alert. I loved it.
It's great though, right? It's just so much fun.
It was so entertaining.
Maybe one of the first meta narrative thing that was contextually, I don't know. It was rad.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if we could have done a whole episode on it. But in the sake of time, it's totally okay that we're doing a shorter piece on it. But it's great. I loved it.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we will see Mojo 2 more times.
Really?
So
I wanted to ask that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see Mojo. There's the Motendo episode of X-Men 97, and they're going to show up in Season 3. However, that's also going to be like one of the first episodes with the bad animation. Sorry to say. So, gotta be prepared for that. But yeah, I think the Mojo episode is like maybe the best episode we've run into so far. It's as a standalone thing. It's just really fucking cool.
All right.
So we're into 1994 now. January 8th, we got our first episode of the year with A Rogue's Tale. And then a week later on January 15th, we get Beauty and the Beast. The Billboard #1 song for both of those weekends was Hero by Mariah Carey, still topping the charts. She was the absolute queen. I don't think anybody was doing better than her at this point in time, right? Like 93 was her big explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like breakdown and stuff.
Yeah, she was just the absolute boss of everything. I think she might get married to the Sony guy this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Iommi, I think.
Yeah.
Who's the Sony guy?
I don't even know if it's the right executive thing,
okay.
but she married a record executive for a few years and like was the absolute queen of Hollywood. And I think that is when she recorded a grunge album that no one has ever heard. And like, I really want to fucking hear this grunge album because apparently it's one of the best things ever, but the record executives didn't want to put it out because it was too different from her image.
Some people say the death of grunge was when Kurt Cobain died, but I think it was an album. So
when that album was not
didn't come
released.
Out. So
yeah,
no, that's right. That's what he's saying. It didn't come out, and it would have been great if it did.
Oh, maybe because there would be 2 living grunge stars at this point in history. But instead, no.
Pretty sure Tony Iommi is the fucking guitarist from fucking Black Sabbath. My apologies.
It's a weird name, though. It's a weird name. It's like it starts with Jimmy Iovine, I think.
That sounds better.
I don't know if we should really find out who she was married to, though. We're gonna sound like fucking.
That's
old Jimmy Iodine. Yeah,
isn't that the Beats by Dre guy? Like the part.
Yeah, that would make sense. Do you guys remember when Old Dirty Bastard just showed up on the Mariah Carey track? It was like an alternate take of
Fantasy?
Dream Lover or Fantasy? Yeah. It was Fantasy probably, yeah.
Fantasy's the one that had like a slight remix recently, yeah.
Right. And what happened there, ODB just showed up at the studio and was like, I want to throw something down. And they're like, okay, go ahead and just, can't say no to Old Dirty Bastard.
So anyway, I found out who it was. She was married to Tommy Mottola, who was executive of Columbia Records. So we got every detail we possibly could have wrong. I'm going to leave it in.
This isn't a show about Mariah Carey.
No, it's a show about the X-Men. So the number one song on February 5th, 1984 was All for Love, the theme song from The Three Musketeers, featuring a collab between Three Musketeers that I never realized made a song together. Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, and Sting in a direct competition to sound exactly the same as each other.
Who's the gayest one of all?
Damn it, Bren. That's not funny.
Oh my God.
Mirror, mirror on my balls.
Okay, that's funny.
All for Love, aka Lemon Party. Am I right?
Yeah, it was one with that harmony, you know. It's like the all for one, all for love.
Are they all banging the same chick / dude?
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell. Let's move on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the number one movie in those times, on January 8th, we had Mrs. Doubtfire continuing its run, 7th week of distribution, still number one, having made 138
My
million.
God.
What a huge run, right?
7 weeks at number one?
I don't think it was number one for the whole 7 weeks. Let's take a look at
That's crazy.
1990.
You had some long, hairy legs.
I'm just going to take a quick look at the end of 90.
When you search Mrs. Doubtfire, the first thing that comes up is drive-by fruiting. That's like, I don't know. What's that mean?
That's the thing that she says when she throws a fruit at Pierce Brosnan.
Yep.
That's the first thing I saw Pierce Brosnan in, and then like the next fucking year he was James Bond. That was crazy.
That is also the first thing I saw him in, for sure. It definitely
it's
was.
got to be, for sure.
No, you weren't Remington Steele fans in your family growing up?
No.
No, sir.
It grossed 440. Oh my God.
It was number one for 2 weeks, and then Wayne's World 2 took over, and then The Pelican Brief had a couple weeks at number one. And then Mrs. Doubtfire came back in its 6th week and
hello.
So it just, by virtue of just being the strongest and best movie of the era, just kept back bubbling up to number one. The next weekend, Philadelphia debuted, went big and wide, and was number one. Beat it by a couple million. Yeah. So
speaking of drive-by fruiting,
the great movie that no one ever talks about anymore. Then February 5th weekend, we had the debut of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Oh my God. Oh, this is 93. This is
94,
also like
94.
Oh, 94.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is the beginning of Jim Carrey's huge 94.
Early 94.
He has three number one comedies in the same year, which no one else ever does.
Well, I just talked to my girlfriend about this because we watched The Mask last weekend for some reason.
And that's the next one.
Cameron Diaz's
That'll be in
debut.
the summer, though, so it'll never come up in this.
Yeah.
That's a great movie, though. I own it on Blu-ray. The effects still work. It's by Chuck Russell.
Really holds up pretty good.
I watched it recently.
Yeah. That guy also did Nightmare on Elm Street 3. So I think that was just like his first movie. He was big. He was a big collaborator with Frank Darabont.
Yeah.
So it really makes sense.
Kind of has
it
has like a really nice, like unsettling vibe to it. I don't know what it is. It's something, especially when you watch it now. I kind of find it pretty cool.
Well, it's by a horror director, right? Like he's doing the comedy, and Jim Carrey's like leads the film. But Chuck Russell really knew what he did with comedy. The only other movie he done was the Blob remake, starring Kevin.
Oh wow!
And him and Frank Darabont wrote that together. So like he was a horror guy. So it really, that's why the dark and creepy side of it works.
That's really cool.
Impressive.
Yeah. But anyway, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Now that's a movie that has not aged as well. Yikes.
Woof.
Yeah.
Mainly the ending.
Yeah, just that end reveal where they all throw up about it. It's not it's really bad today. Like, holy shit.
Maybe they all like fucked her right before that scene.
I think that's the idea. That's
the implication. They've all at least
So like today it just reads as like, holy shit. Like there's a lot of random transphobia in 90s and 80s movies, but it's like one of the worst examples of it for sure.
Egregious.
And then the second movie is just like wildly racialist. Like the way they depict Africans is fucking insanely just ridiculous. And it introduced a bunch of words into the English lexicon that maybe shouldn't be part of it, right? Like we shouldn't be saying or doing that shit. Anyway, so it was a pop in time and culture, right? A lot of classics were coming out, and of course, we got a couple classic episodes. Let's get into A Rogue's Tale.
Yeah, so let's go. Moving on.
Let's hear it, sugar. That's my
So
rogue.
we're getting deep
I
into
can't do
the
girl
back.
voices.
Oh,
Too bad.
she has such a specific rasp too. Like it's
Yeah, I
almost
thought
like
I had it, but no.
Marge Simpson.
Yeah,
kind
Lenore
of thing.
Zan's
Like,
voice is iconic. Like it's great that they get her to come back and do it again in the new episodes, but it's a little bit different. Just doesn't quite cut as much.
it is, but I feel like she gets a little more comfortable with it too as that season went on.
She
Same
does.
with
Probably,
Wolverine.
It's
she
this
probably
kind of
blew it
edgy
out.
time with it that is the best, I think. This
She
is
blew
really
it
one
out
of her best
in this
performances.
episode with those crazy screeches.
Oh
Yeah,
No,
she's got a lot
she's
of
great in
work
this
to
one.
do, and it could sound really ear-splitting and terrible, but she makes it work.
No, I love Rogue's like losing her shit scream when she's just got like having a wild migraine of like psychosis, and
It's really
they're
iconic and unique. Yeah,
it's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we open here with like it's like this lady's walking down the road. It's raining, and some guy wants to take her umbrella. And she shows off like this weird bug face. It turned out
her
that's
face turns
Mystique.
into a bug face, right? So we instantly know that it's Mystique because
Well, I didn't instantly know that. I just
Oh, really?
thought it was a lady. I thought it was a mutant whose power was to turn into a bug face.
Oh,
Or an
that's cool.
alien.
Yeah, that's fair.
Until the next scene when they reveal it's Mystique.
Kind of
quickly,
crazy
but-
for a guy to try and mug a woman over an umbrella, though.
right?
Like,
He's just like, I'm getting wet here. Give me your umbrella.
Oh,
Yeah,
right in my friggin' eye. Give me that umbrella,
Yeah.
lady.
They did show his eye very specifically.
it's like the
getting
one thing
water
I've
in it.
never seen. Like, you know, like people,
Mm.
if I think people would intervene more about an umbrella theft than a money theft. Because if someone steals an umbrella and other people around, they're just gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Fuck you!" And they're like, I think they wouldn't be as threatened by someone that wasn't stealing money, right? They'd probably be more likely to intervene.
Yeah, like that person needs that umbrella right now. You can't just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
So,
are rules. This is a society.
Mystique is meeting with Mr. Sinister, who is this hiding in the shadow. I don't know if it's supposed to not. We're supposed to know that's him. Like he kind of stays in shadows the whole time and is like trying to
We get a
hide
shot
his
of him.
identity.
Well, when the
Shut up.
lightning flashes, you
Yeah.
can see him pretty clearly.
Yeah. But he's telling her that Charles is away and they're going to go harass the X-Men some more, specifically.
And I feel like this kind of gives away, for anyone that hadn't figured it out, that like Mr. Sinister is going to be the guy who is behind Charles and Magneto's disappearance, right? Like, I feel like that tips the hand a little bit. It's nice to see him again, but they made it a little obvious.
Well, like the fire guy and the noise guy and the fat guy, those are like Sinister's goons, right?
No,
seems that way.
they're
He works-
Mystique Scoons.
Oh. But they all work for
we met
Sinister
them
right
as
now.
Mystique Scoons in the last
Right.
season.
I see.
Avalanche, Pyro, and the Blob. They're at
Do they
Blob
I-
is all
I-
psyched about the Tutti Frutti ice cream.
Yeah, I love that part.
You
Very
can't
iconic.
have any.
Tutti frutti. Do they have a name?
What?
Like their group? Like
The
they have a
Brotherhood
group
of
name?
the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or the Brotherhood of Mutants?
Okay, I was
Or
wondering
just
if
the
that's
Brotherhood. Yeah, they're
um,
at a carnival. The X-Men kind of try to intervene. Rogue sees this blonde lady and has a mental breakdown, freaks out. How do we know right away that Xavier did it? Is that like a line
well,
of dialogue? Because we know pretty early
no,
on that she has mental.
because
I think
in-
she explains that Xavier has blocked her memories.
and there's also the recap of the episodes. I think maybe I so before I do watch the recap sometimes because it does sort of like say what episodes you should be remembering.
Oh yeah, I always watch
as
the
you go
recap
into
on this
this.
one. It's not a bullshit recap with the X-Men show. It's really helping you understand
So
the themes of the
they
episode.
specifically show some of the work that I think they must have mentioned in a previous episode that he did some work to help her repress some memories. They didn't go into what they were. So,
Gotcha.
but this is it coming back. You know, it turns out it's a bad idea to do that. So he shouldn't have done that. And that's usually the case with a lot of shit like this that Charles does, it seems like. So
Yeah,
she
like-
freaks out.
Me as a person who's writing stuff in 2025, I'm thinking like, oh wow, blocking out memories is like hyper toxic and not a healthy thing to do at all. This doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to do. Now it kind of makes sense because it's like, oh, she's dealing with a superpowered mind, and that's the real danger. But like from a just pure writing perspective, telling her to suppress her memories is just toxic.
Well, Charles, he later says like he goes, like, I'm doing this for your own good. Like, it's going to help both of you. We'll deal with it later. And I feel like he just never came back to deal with it. He's just got too much going on, and he just like forgot
Yeah, he
that
does kind of leave his students in limbo.
Yeah, he just kind of
I've got a lot on my plate right now, X-Men.
I need to go.
Behold, my mighty schedule.
I need to go into my room for a few minutes. Please leave me alone.
So they take her back to the mansion after that because she has a little freak out and she kind of passes out, but they do fight off everyone and get her safely back home. She kind of has like a little mental breakdown again, and she flies completely out of the mansion, right out an open window to find Wolverine chopping logs
shirtless, which is exactly
With-
what he would do.
One claw out, which is weird.
Well, he doesn't want to cut it into little ribbons.
Like you think that would hurt if nothing else, you know?
Oh, I think it would.
That's right. He needs bigger logs.
Yeah, but like just wailing down on like that middle claw sticking out in the middle of your like wrist bones and stuff.
Yeah. Can't feel good.
And then Rogue just comes along and destroys his stump.
Well, she actually like explodes it somehow. Like she punches it and it actually like has a visceral explosion. Like,
well, she's super powered, right? And we're finding out why she is as powerful as she is in this episode. And it's connected to this woman that she's seeing everywhere. Jean tries to read her mind because Jean is really taking a more active role. I was really actually impressed by how much Jean is a part of this episode and directs things. And she was, I thought it was pretty cool how she was really taking the leadership role on in this
Hops into
situation.
Cerebro.
Yeah. And then she flies. Now, who flies through every floor of the mansion?
That was Rogue.
Rogue does that later when she finally freaks out for the second time. She like there's this cool shot where she flies through every floor.
Yeah, that needs
and
to be
it's kind of like it looks like a
Yeah.
diorama kind of thing. It looks really cool. It's like kind of Wes Anderson almost, but like cooler.
Very cool. Yeah.
Cooler than Wes Anderson.
I know.
I mean, it is a cool
Bold
shot,
statement.
though.
In fairness, at this point, like he'd only done Bottle Rocket, I think. So
No,
Cooler
yeah,
than
he'd
Bottle
done
Rocket.
Bottle Rocket. I mean, Bottle Rocket, he'd done the short film version of it.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. You're right. I should just shut up. So, Storm follows Rogue to the Statue of Liberty, but again, they see her at the lady. Where is the part where the X-Men do some research and find out that the image that this lady is appearing at all sorts of disasters and staring right at the camera? Because I think that's the most important thing that's happened here.
I actually did not even clock that moment.
They called it like a image viewer or something, or like an image finder. Like it was pre-Google.
I mean, that's how AI can do now. It's really
Cerebro.
A lot of technology that is happening that computers can do in the early 90s is like AI is starting to be able to do that right now. So that's
and they got that from X-Men.
I'm sure
that from X-Men.
Yes, the idea came from X-Men. Yep.
Okay.
You are right.
Thank you.
That's why this podcast is so goddamn important.
Yeah. There's one shot that I really like where she's just in the corner staring at the audience, kind of like she's the toasty guy from Mortal Kombat. And it's just so awkward and like talking head. She's just staring right at the camera. And I just got like,
Mortal Kombat was out at this point. So maybe a reference.
Possibly. Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 was 93, I think. Yeah.
Toasty.
Something like that. The arcade game was definitely 93. So anyway, Rogue arrives at a hospital where they're treating a Jane Doe that has no brain activity, and she has the same face that Mystique has been taking to taunt her in these visions.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely her. The rest of the team fights with the Brotherhood.
I like this fight because it was kind of novel to see, Wolverine fighting in his street clothes. Cyclops has like a jacket over his suit and things like that. And I know we've seen them fight these guys
with the leather
before.
jacket over his suit.
Looks great.
Yeah. Okay, so Mystique shows up and leads Rogue to the woman, and then she touches Mystique to remember her past, and we get a big flashback showing when Rogue used to run with Mystique's crew, like Mystique with the alternate weird green outfit she had. And
sexy as hell.
Yeah, and they show that like somehow Miss Marvel is Mystique's nemesis, and Mystique has Rogue steal Miss Marvel's powers.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
love how
pretty big. Like
Blob was like, Miss Marvel. And she's like, that's Ms. Marvel to you.
yeah, and like I at the time I didn't know who this was. I'd never heard of
No.
her.
It's
And we
me,
know
Hillary
now
Clinton.
from the movie that came out in 2000 like 5 or 6 years ago how powerful she is, so that she's like one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. So that really recontextualizes how powerful Rogue is.
Yeah.
But
She must have been a bigger deal in the comics at the time. Like I think she must have
oh
been a
yeah,
main
yeah.
Avengers character.
She was a big deal for sure. She was a big deal up until I don't know. She was always around. Like when I actually read comic books, Miss Marvel was always showing up as a guest star in other people's stories constantly. In the Age of Apocalypse, she didn't get the powers. She didn't get the Miss Marvel stuff, but she was still a really important, like hella badass leader. And she was actually in the Wolverine comics in the Age of Apocalypse story. And like that was actually my first experience with her in comics as like this really tough character. So she's really usually pretty well written. She just never sold well. And then she just, I think, fluked and had a good big movie at a time when Marvel was just gonna have a big movie no matter what they did.
Mm-hmm.
She's never given enough to do. She's too powerful, right? Rogue
Yeah.
is great that she has this weakness of her power being vampiric. It's like it adds this extra element to her that Captain Marvel doesn't have. And it also adds another element to Rogue and makes her not just completely weak. So that's, I think, why is so iconic to people, why she resonates with so many people, because she, yes, has a huge drawback, but normally she's super powerful, and we see her in this way. Now, in the 2000s and afterwards, we didn't get to see her that because I think the movies didn't want to factor in Miss Marvel or explain it or produce like an alternate version that would be weak to people because it wasn't Miss Marvel.
Right. They would have had to work. They would have had to use some other character if they were going to do that story with
Exactly,
Rogue,
right?
I
It's just
think
a lot
so.
of legwork, and like her characters like her and Cyclops just have such a huge lore behind them that they're really hard to put on film that way. So what they did was they wound up depowering Rogue, and that made Rogue much lamer than she is in the comics.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this cartoon does this version of Rogue with the powers from Captain Marvel. And I really, really like the whole battle between them. It kind of reminds me of Malignant, the battle inside the mind.
Right. Yeah.
Just to confirm, like canon wise, like is this the canon or is this like an alternate
No,
like
this is the canon.
Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the story of Rogue as it happened, pretty much note for note. Um,
Ms.
other
Marvel doesn't
story.
go in a coma though, does
The
she?
only difference is that Rogue never forgets that she worked for Mystique. That's never revealed to her or anything. She never forgets that. She's always a reformed villain. They turned it into a reveal in this cartoon that that was her origin, but that was just something that Xavier had mind wiped her for, so she could, um, I guess, more adapt. It's weird. They make Xavier take huge liberties with people in the cartoons and never really pay for it. In the comic books, they've really paid for it, and they've really had Xavier reap the repercussions for messing with people's minds. But he really did stuff like this. He really did erase people's minds so they could be effective X-Men. But Rogue always knew that she was that Mystique was her adoptive mother. She
Right.
started out on the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
And then Ms. Marvel was the one in the coma, right? That's Carol Danvers
Yeah,
and
and like the green outfit that she's
ta-da.
wearing in these flashbacks, like that was her first costume when she joined the X-Men.
Right.
Cool.
So like they're really, really being faithful to the lore here, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, they do a good job of that.
Did Ms. Marvel go into a coma for years or whatever after her encounter with Rogue? Was
Yes.
that okay?
She did wake up from it, and Rogue kept the superpowers when she did wake up. But I don't know exactly when she woke up because I think she was still in the coma when this episode aired. I don't know
Really?
when exactly she became active again in the early mid 90s. Um, I have never actually purchased a comic that where she was the main character. That was her title. But she showed up in all the crossover stuff. I know that she had a relationship with War Machine at some point.
That tracks.
Who didn't?
Yeah. The most fuckable Avenger of all.
He's the most attainable, besides like Hawkeye. I mean, come on, no one's fucking Hawkeye, honestly.
So they have a little battle in the Mind Palace. We didn't talk about that yet, right? Like
Yeah, that was fun.
where she's like a reptilian version of herself, and a giant 50-foot tall Jean Grey is there breaking it up and putting her.
Yeah, I really liked all of that.
He was like using Cerebro to enter Rogue's mind and sort of like get in between them. And ultimately, I think she's the one who puts the not really Miss Marvel, but like Miss Marvel's memories into like a cage or something.
They lock her in a cage just like fucking Malignant. It's the same ending. It's awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if James Wan actually got that idea from this unconsciously, because he was the right age to be watching this as a kid or a young adult.
That would definitely make sense. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a great sequence. It's cool when Xavier isn't doing all the mind stuff. It's always him, so it's cool for it to be different this time. You know, it's cool when it's three women and it's not about the fact that there are three women as well. You know,
Passes the Bechdel test.
I was just going to say, does this episode pass the Bechdel test? Wow.
I think it does in spades, but I'm a white man, so it doesn't really matter what I think of it.
Next episode sure doesn't, though.
No, this episode is all about men and how men feel about women. And women are
My
objects.
daughter, damn it.
Men making decisions for women. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the episode ends. Rogue finally visits Miss Marvel again and drops her real name. And her little beepy thing beeps a little blip of life for the first time in her.
She cracks a smile.
And she cracks a little smile. Yeah, smile,
Yeah.
pussycat.
Yeah, I am Carol Danvers.
Yeah, and we think she might wake up, but I don't think she ever does. No,
probably not within the episodes of X-Men. I don't know if she ever.
I don't think so.
I don't know that there was an Avengers show that had Miss Marvel or anything at the
I feel
time.
like it was pretty likely for her to come back actually in X-Men 97.
I think that could happen for sure.
Follow up on, especially because people know who that character is and care about it now.
That would be a bigger deal now than was in the 90s.
Way bigger deal.
There could be a whole episode where she just like wakes up from the coma and then has to like do a bunch of like rehab and like learn to walk and talk and eat and stuff.
That's
again.
a great thing
like
to show in
the
animation.
whole episode, you know, maybe a two-parter.
Really stretch it out. Get Hayao Miyazaki to do it.
Yeah,
actually,
that delicious food,
pretty beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, mutant powers here, like Jean Grey's kind of levels up with her mutant powers, which is cool. Yeah. It's all about the repercussions of power usage, which is pretty good. I think I give this episode an 8. I really like it.
Yeah, I gave it about an 8 too. I thought Rogue, the show of her strength and all that was really well done here. They always do a pretty good job with Rogue, but like I thought she had some cool moments of like, and her like screaming was a top tier.
Yeah, the top tier screaming definitely puts it over to like a 9.
Yeah, it's such a unique scream.
9!
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Who wants to bet that this episode is about Beast?
Well, it is on Disney, so maybe they.
Yeah. I would argue that Wolverine is kind of the hero of the story, though. He
does kind of cuck him in his own episode. He does
stuff that moves the story forward. It's even the description on Disney Plus is like Wolverine goes undercover with the Friends of Humanity, and I think that's the important part. Like the B plot of this episode, the Wolverine stuff is the focus. The Beast stuff is the Beast stuff is
challenging.
So Beast is working in a lab with Alec Bolson, and they're working with a blind lady named Carly, who we've never seen or heard of before, who's in love with Beast, and they're working on curing her vision.
She doesn't have any color in her eyes, you see. So if we can turn her eyes from gray to green, perhaps she can see my beautiful face.
It is pretty corny how they show her blindness. She's a pretty ridiculous character, honestly.
Very one note.
Yeah, like
just like Beast likes
just
them.
A pretty girl wearing a pink house coat that is blind and helpless. Like a very,
you see,
very
since no one can challenge the Beast intellectually, he might as well be with a submental moron. It makes sense. Somebody's got to do the laundry.
Jesus.
You laugh, but it's true.
Oh,
So MAGA shows up, and they really seem to hate Hank in particular. Charlie Kirk gives a Charlie Kirk gets up in his face, and
Yeah.
Beast gives him a beat down verbally.
Yeah, he's always like making these like really like not even that obscure, but like because they're all fairly obvious famous quotes I find usually, but he's always giving like these quotes and speeches while he beats down people. Um and today was no exception. He was in a mood. And then back at the mansion, Wolverine's particularly hot under the collar about what was happening. Jean kind of talks him down, saying we're no better than them. We can't like fall into their trap of escalating things and being the violent freaks that they think we are. So he goes off to do his own thing yet again, though.
You're not the boss of me, Gene.
Gene, don't tell me what to do.
If you want to be my boss, let me know. Otherwise, fuck off. Remember that part?
Yeah, I think Hugh would definitely accept her being like the boss of him.
Yeah.
He'd be down.
So we return to the Land of the Lost for the first time in like 3 episodes. We didn't see any of them in Time Fugitives. I don't think we even noticed it. And they weren't in the last episode, which I kind of appreciated because I think like Charles was kind of a negative influence on it. But yeah. We get them, and they're strolling down a river, and a frogman comes up, and his name is Amphibious.
He catches them in a net. Yeah.
A lot of slopping and sniffing with that guy.
I really like all these like weird like Savage Land dudes who are just like I like how there's just like the head of a creature on the body of a guy. Like I like that. So
that's like the high evolutionary style or the
Moreau.
Ninja Turtles style of anthropomorphic.
Yeah, exactly. It all kind of reminds me of like Ninja Turtles or Masters of the Universe. So
it's a pig with 7 asses.
Barnyard Battlers. Yeah, it's fun. It's just a fun thing to do whenever it shows up. You know, there's the whole city of them in Gargoyles. I remember that's really fun.
Oh yeah. I think I maybe would have preferred that they didn't drag this thing out all. Like I think I'm wondering why they dragged the storyline out all season instead of just doing one episode about the Savage Land.
I think it connects and gives a sense of unity to a bunch of episodes that are essentially kind of like, fuck, what can we do real fast? Because they got this full series order and had to think of a whole 52 episode series plan and start shipping that to animation, as well as finish this second season in that time. So I think they just had a lot on their plate, and this is a good way to kind of like thematically tie them together, because the first season, it weaves its way through so well, and everything is kind of like building and shifting, and in one episode hands a baton off and picks it up in the next episode, yada yada, the various story elements. But with this, like the only thing that's really connecting them is the Friends of Humanity and this. And I think this is the end of the Friends of Humanity story. I'm not sure.
It should be, right?
I had assumed that a lot of stuff that happens in this episode happened in the end of the season, but I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see them again.
Well, Wolverine gets in there, right? He goes undercover. He's John Logan, right? And he's like, some mutants beat me up out in the alley right by your door here. What's this place? Like he's acting all dumb. He's like, oh, it's for destroying mutants.
He's acting really stupid, which is very appealing to MAGA when they're driving for new members.
Yeah,
it's like not a red flag if a person is an idiot for them.
Right. And like Logan does a good job of like being like, oh yeah, those scumbags, you're gonna wipe them out, right? And he's like, oh well, now that you said it, sure, yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
I mean, that's exactly how the right wing operates. They nailed that.
They waited for him to say something first, and they're like, oh yeah, you're open to this, okay, right? So yeah, and then like by the end of it though, like he's fucking Sabretooth's son. Is that?
In the past couple episodes, I've always pointed out when Wolverine runs into Graydon Creed and interacts with him and has clearly fucking heard who he is. Here, this is the 3rd time that they're interacting, and he's like, your name is Creed. Never noticed that before. I used to know another guy named Creed.
But that says John Logan.
Yes, he's doing it as John Logan, but like I feel like he would have mentioned this connection before to his fellow X-Men or whatever, be like, hey, this guy's got the same name as that fucking guy that I tracked down to the Arctic to kill. Like that matters.
So is Creed like? Does he have mutant powers? Didn't he
No,
have like super
that's
healing
the
or something?
great irony of it. He like we're gonna find out, don't spoil it, Mike, but we're gonna find out his other parent too. He comes from mutants and he doesn't have any mutant genes, and that's part of I think why he hates them, because
he hates them so
missed
much.
out.
He hates us because he ain't us.
Yeah. He hates us because he ain't us.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So anyway, Hank gets racism out of performing the procedure on Carly by her piece of shit dad.
Yeah.
Who
sucked.
like Warren Worthington's father is a lot like this in most of the times he appears. This is the closest we get to seeing Warren Worthington's dad. And this he's a guy who's appeared in all the comics, movies,
That's true.
cartoons,
Yeah.
except for this. We don't get Angel's dad in this. But this guy, Carly's dad, is essentially her.
He kind of reminds me of like Royal Tenenbaum a little bit for the second Wes Anderson reference of the night.
Whoa.
So Beast goes to say goodbye, and she's upset because she wanted to see his furry face first, which is interesting.
Yeah.
She likes how he smells, but because of his aftershave. But I'm sitting here like, oh, I don't know. I think she can definitely smell more than his aftershave being different. She can smell that he is a hairy animal.
Yeah.
She
he definitely smells like shit.
Is a Disney adult. Beauty and the Beast came out the year before this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hold on, Beast doesn't have to smell like shit.
No, I picture her dad smelling like shit. And that's why it was ironic. He's like, oh, that filthy mutant. You're the one that looks, you smell like shit, bro. So,
yeah,
you know,
totally true. Like, I think Beast is the kind of guy who would like shampoo his whole body. I mean, he comes off as very civilized.
Yeah. I've invented a Mojovision.
He looks at old pictures and we see when he was a fan of Mork and Mindy and had a Shazbut t-shirt.
Yeah, that was rad.
I like seeing like the various stages of his mutation where he's like, first he's just like a guy with big hands, then he's a little bit hairy, then he's like really hairy, and then he's just fully beast.
And some nice pop culture references in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well played.
Yeah. So Jean is comforting Hank, and she has no idea that Hank is kind of in love with Carly, and Hank thinks Carly loves him back. It feels pretty obvious that she does. Jean says that Carly deserves to take the risk, so Hank should just go and do it anyway.
Yeah.
So he does. He shows up. He wants to. He's there when she. He's there for the procedure. Carly's dad freaks out.
Look at this filthy mutant. What? Because I'm wearing a Speedo, a trench coat, and a top hat?
Yeah, he could have dressed up a little bit. He should have maybe
It's a
put
weird
a shirt
outfit.
on.
He looks like he's coming to do sex work.
Well, he looks like the Ninja Turtles when they go up like street side, like where they just put on a trench coat. And
I just realized this is the first time Carly's seeing him.
Yeah.
You
don't wear clothes. I see.
I dressed up this way for you, Carly. Can you see my nipples through the hair?
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah, so Beast is leaving, but as he leaves, the FOH have like broken into the room that she was in and kidnapped her, and only
which
her.
is fucking crazy. Like, why did they?
It's very strange.
There's not a great reason given. It's kind of ridiculous that these stories intersect in any way.
He does say mutants and anyone who whatever coerces with them, whatever.
Like, how did they even find out about her?
Is going to be destroyed. So,
like, did the dad sell them out or something? Maybe I could have believed that, but I don't think.
I mean, Hank is kind of a public figure. He's in the news. Maybe people.
He's like best friends with the president, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's very close with President Kelly. So
Hank might actually be the most famous mutant. So hold on, yeah, maybe that does make sense.
He did the testimony in Congress.
Yeah, totally. And that in the movies, he's also the most famous and well-known mutant, right? He's the guy that's appearing in Congress and speaking on behalf of mutants there. So yeah, that's cool.
As a simple psychiatrist from the great city of Seattle, I must say, wait, what?
Yeah. So anyway, Logan tracks down Carly because she's being held where he's going to the clubhouse, you know? And he's taunting Graydon Creed the whole time because he says he knows him. He also says, like, don't I look familiar? Which is
Yes.
interesting because, like, in some continuities, Logan and Sabretooth are related, right? In the movies they
Yeah.
are. In the
Yeah.
Ultimate Universe they are. In the main comic universe, they're not. But there was hints that it might be that way at this point. But they've later clarified and went in different directions or left it ambiguous. But it's not clear, I don't think, that Sabretooth is his brother.
Sabretooth's just out there just fucking whoever and making babies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sabretooth's had a long life of fucking. He's going to be way less responsible about it than Wolverine
So
is, right?
Wolverine is Graydon's uncle in that, if that was the case, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's
Wolverine would be more promiscuous.
I think that's what
But
this
he's a
storyline
short
is
guy.
saying.
That's the problem for him. Sabretooth's like 6'8". He's got like an 18 pack of abs. You know, no one's saying no to him. Wolverine's just like, damn it. I wanted to dance with her, but it's embarrassing, you know. It's frustrating for him.
Yeah, there's actually some continuities where Sabretooth is his dad, but in the main continuity, no, they've kept them not related. I think that
mortal enemies.
I think him being his dad is weird. I think them being brothers makes a lot of sense, though. They could also be cousins. That'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the X-Men decide the jig is up, and they project an image of Sabretooth into the Friends of Humanity compound, and they reveal that Graydon Creed's father is Sabretooth, which causes him to go berserk, and he goes nuts, and the FOHL turn on him. Kind of like MAGA turning on anybody that...
Get out of here, everybody. He's like,
yeah.
I'm normal. I'm not like them. I'm normal. Get out of here. I'm normal. It was great. It reminded me of something that like Bob Odenkirk might have played as a comedy character.
Bob Odenkirk would be a great Graydon Creed, even though Graydon Creed's supposed to be in his like 30s or so. Like Charlie Kirk is a very close analog to him.
Yes,
but like man, sure. I'd love to see Bob Odenkirk play a guy like this. They should just get him to play a racist asshole in the next X-Men continuity.
I mean, he could be
Reverend Stryker. He'd be great as Reverend Stryker.
He'd be great Stryker,
if they did the actual religious angle, which is I think more interesting than the military angle that they went with in the movies.
Just do the exact same voice as Senator Tanko Bell from Mr. Show.
Okay, so yeah, I don't. So maybe the Friends of Humanity is done for now. I know they come back in X-Men '97, but yeah, Beast and Carly decide to have a tearful goodbye because even though they clearly have feelings for each other, the world is dangerous and she's always going to be targeted if they're together, which is true. And their shitty dad has a moment where he's not so shitty. He accepts that maybe Beast is a good guy. Bada bing, bada boom. We never see or hear from her again. And Beast, I don't know if Beast will. I think Beast might reference this once or twice. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out.
Writes her longing letters in the mail. Seems like that.
Yeah, and this time not in Braille.
Well, yeah.
Although God, learning calligraphy would probably be a bitch as an adult,
especially with those big ass hands.
Yeah. Not a lot of mutant powers used in this episode.
No, it was pretty.
The power of the mind, Beast's ultimate weapon.
True.
Yeah. I like that they had a hologram projector out of nowhere. Like that was kind of cool. Like
I also like how they cured blindness just for one person.
Yeah.
Nobody else can have the cure. That was just for Carly.
Yeah. Like they could later say that like the money that Beast makes off of curing blindness funds everything else they do, but nope, they don't do anything like that.
He's like a Jonas Salk type. He wouldn't take money for his patent. He'd be like, no, the world can use it for the betterment of all mankind. And they'd be like, fuck you, mutant. You know? Like, please, I'm trying to help. Fuck you, because that's humanity, man.
Yeah. So this episode is like, I like the moving forward the plot points of Friends of Humanity stuff, but overall the stuff with Carly is a little corny, and I don't know. I think I give this maybe a 6. It doesn't have a lot of replay value.
Yeah,
Good for the continuity, but yeah.
yeah. I think I agree. I think a 6 is right around where this belongs. It's not exactly filler, but
It's not a bad. It's not. Yeah, it's not a bad episode, but it's not like a good one either. It's just
saying it's
fine.
not rewatchable is a great point. Like this is just one you would skip if you were rewatching this and you'd already seen
Yeah,
it.
like I usually watch every episode of this show twice to really have some opinions about what's going on. Like
I
once just for
agree.
entertainment's sake, and once to. I'm not saying anybody else should do it this way. This is just how I'm doing it. But the second, but this one I had a real trouble watching and didn't even pay attention the second time going through. Whereas Rogue's Tale was totally awesome, and I was so excited for the Mind Palace stuff that we get.
Mhm.
And then
more quality.
obviously Mojovision is just eminently rewatchable.
Man. The yeah, I think the 6, I agree. It's not like the greatest episode. I love Beast, but yeah, nothing really happened here. That said, the Wolverine stuff was good. It was just the Beast stuff that wasn't very exciting. So yeah, 6 is good. It would have been a 10 though if like she had come out of the coma or out of the blindness and been like, Beast's like, "Hey, I'm here to say hello," and she's like, "Ah, oh God, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Dad, you were right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That would be hilarious.
That would have made it a 10 out of 10. And then just cut to the X-Men theme right there, just like in the middle of like that. Yeah.
That's what would happen on the Robot Chicken version of this episode.
Yes. 100%.
Now let's get to Mojovision, which I think works because inherently the X-Men is the coolest idea for superheroes comics.
Yeah.
For a superhero show, Because this idea could be an Avengers idea, it could be a Justice League idea or whatever, but those groups just don't have the inherent coolness of a group of people who are born that way. It just relates to people on a much more just honest level,
Mm-hmm.
There's something manufactured about the superhero teams that are just, we're the best superheroes and we're together on a team because we sell the most comics.
Yeah, the X-Men are not the Avengers, man.
Yeah. So that's why I think this works, because it's like, oh yeah, this is the coolest idea. The X-Men are the coolest thing, and that they are what somebody would do. And I think that like we're gonna see X-Men MCU movies that revive the MCU and bring in shit tons of money because it's the coolest concept, and they haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah, and an MCU that's like centered around the X-Men with some characters we already know popping in every once in a while would be fucking fire. Like that'd be great.
Like I love Captain America's appearance in X-Men 97, and I think it would be amazing if we could have stuff like that in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Established versions of Marvel heroes.
Like Wolverine and the Hulk.
In the Avengers at one point?
Yes, there is a version of the Avengers, like the 2005 era version.
Yeah.
Has Wolverine and Spider-Man, as well as
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage and Captain America and Iron Man. And that's where Echo comes from, and Ronan.
Yep. Spider-Woman, I think, was on the team too. It was like a Brian Michael Bendis,
sort of.
very
She was
level.
a Skrull. That was a Skrull.
Oh yeah. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But I think maybe the Spider-Woman may have been revived and joined the team after that point. I'm not sure. I kind of tapped out when Norman Osborn took over the world. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with a world where an evil supervillain is president. That's just too much.
Where an evil billionaire becomes president?
Can you imagine?
That's just
what the fuck?
It's too unrealistic,
Yeah,
crazy.
They lost me on that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of unreal, like the start of this episode is just like it was really hard to even figure out how to describe it. There's just a lot of cool shit that happens that it's kind of like
we start with the long shot TV show being broadcast, which is this crazy sci-fi thing. It's completely different than everything we've seen. It's like a whole new world. Like the animation budget for this episode must have been huge because there's so many just completely new worlds and so many references. Right away, one of the girls is hanging out with Longshot is Dazzler, but she's being drawn to be Dazzler, but she's not the actual character Dazzler. We'll meet her next season. She'll be a part of the Dark Phoenix saga. But she's just written in as a cameo, one of those like cameos where the writing team describes a character to the animation team without getting credit. So it's a continuity error that she's here because she shouldn't be. But in the comic books, she has a relationship with Longshot.
And
This is an
Psylocke is
alternate
there too.
dimension.
Longshot's kind of like this, like the most famous movie star or TV star of the interdimensional broadcasting unit that Mojo is, because like Mojo is broadcasting to something. We don't know what their audience is, but it's the biggest audience in the galaxy, right?
The International Broadcasting Systems, or IBS, which appears to be something that Mojo has because he's drinking Mojo's antacid in one scene.
That's true.
Well, when you're
here's
a
what
big
I love.
slug on a robot scorpion, yeah, I bet your guts are weird.
Listen, Slimer, Jabba the Hutt, okay, with Men in Black, no, Wild Wild West spider legs. Listen, no, but what I love about this episode is like there is this alternate dimension where there are still, you know who type of movie executives and doing all the tropes and doing all the things. But in this universe, they're green and have like cybernetic dreadlocks and spider legs. But everything else is the same. They're worried about ratings. They're worried about the next big star. They're worried about sign the contract real quick. All that stuff. It's so fucking funny to me.
Yeah,
it's a very like inside baseball Hollywood type show.
I think this is what Chris Claremont felt about Hollywood and movie and TV producers. And honestly, it's kind of amazing that this gets made at all. I'm so surprised that this happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit any of the X-Men stories, but it's just so funny and fun that I'm so stoked that they do it.
Yeah,
it's just bizarre.
Excellent episode. Excellent little capsule episode, but still has like further connotations, right?
Yeah, especially because we get a little bit of actually we get a very important bit of Charles and Magneto in the Savage Land. We'll get to that later. But just a great change of pace. I'm really stoked for. I just love this episode, and I loved it even more this time. Probably I loved it more than I ever had. I don't know why the fuck people review bomb it and give it a bad review on IMDb, but
I don't know. I mean, I could see
Mojo is just too annoying to them.
That's what I was going to say. That they may have found him too annoying.
They're anti-Samogic, actually, is the term. And it's a big problem, and we're looking into it very closely right now.
Yeah, I remember that like the Mojo episode of X-Men 97 is also the only low-rated episode of that show.
That's wild. Yeah.
But people just hate him.
And people don't get him.
Fuck him. I want a Mojo movie. I want a new Deadpool movie where Mojo is the villain.
That would be
fits so well.
Oh god.
Played by Harvey Weinstein from prison.
He played by Jim Carrey pretty easy. Like I got big Jim Carrey vibes from whoever was voicing him. Was like
Jim Carrey in a Weinstein costume would be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I feel like he would.
I'm standing behind this potted plant, and
Jim Carrey as Mojo would be fucking nuts. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that'd be so good.
I don't know if either of you have seen him in the Sonic movies, which are like not great, but I watched them with my kid.
I gotta watch the third one still.
I'm going to stop you there. They are kind of great. They're fun. The third one is especially.
Third one's really great. Good. Third one is actually. I think
they really nail it. Like they the right amount. The humans are barely in it because the animated characters are so well developed that you can spend the time mostly with them. The first two do have some problems. Like James Marsden is fine, but the supporting cast around him is not the greatest. But I think the first one's fun. I really like the first movie because it's filmed in our hometown, and there's a lot of images that are things that I grew up with. Like when Sonic is playing baseball with himself, that is the same baseball field that I played softball on as a teenager.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's like it's the highway that we've both driven hundreds of times, right, Ben?
That's so cool.
Yeah, that big car crash scene, the truck crash thing.
Oh, you mean Final Destination 2?
Well, there was a truck crash in Sonic, wasn't there?
There was. Yeah, in the first one, Robotnik chases him down.
It's like he slams on the brakes or something.
Some drones.
I admit I've only watched these movies once each. Yeah. And I don't think I'll ever watch the second one ever again because that's the weaker one.
Fair.
For sure. The first one's fine and the third one's great.
Jim Carrey is especially good, I find, in the third one. Like him with playing himself and
well, that's the one where he said he was retired, So they had to pay him like $50 million to do it. I'm
That's
sure
awesome.
when you're getting paid that much money, you're having a great time no matter what's happening to you.
Yeah. Anyway, so Mojo has his eyes on the X-Men as his potential new franchise, and coincidentally, Cyclops and Jean are out shopping for TVs. The salesman, I don't know if you noticed, like, he had his name tag said calamari, which I don't know. There's no joke to that. I don't think.
I'm really
I just
glad
don't
you
know
did
why.
that.
It's just so weird.
I think that might have been one of the producers' names or something
Maybe
in the credits. If you want to go back and watch, I don't care, but yeah,
I'll check it out.
It might have been. It might have been.
It may be just like the animators just putting random English words into. Who knows? Mojo hijacks the signal in the store, and he starts like trying to get them to come willingly, I guess is what he's hoping, but apparently he's just willing to just hijack them whether or not he makes a scene, and the whole team shows up. They were all out shopping, I guess, apparently. Yeah. They go to the mall a lot. It's the 90s, so that makes sense, but they're at the mall a lot.
Yeah, nowadays people don't even know when they're at the mall, right? Like you could be at the mall and you just have no fucking idea what's happening because it's non-intrusive anymore.
Yeah. Like multiple
I
episodes
cannot get enough
started.
of the Chair Company. Everybody should be watching the Chair Company.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm gonna as I did last week, I'm gonna watch the new episode right after we're done recording.
Nice.
I might. We'll see.
Let me know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of like kicks her butt a little bit through the TV, but then this 6-armed chick walks out of the TV who I'm just like instantly magnetized towards.
Spiral.
Spiral is just like,
he's cool.
So cool looking, like so way too cool looking for being a pretty minor character. It turns out, like I looked her up after, and she's not been involved in too many big stories, which is a shame.
She's mostly an enforcer, yeah.
She teleports them all to Mojo Land, which has like a live studio audience of freaks just waiting to watch them. There's a few interesting. There's probably a bunch of references to Marvel characters. I saw a few Skrulls in the audience. I don't know if you guys noticed anything.
Yeah,
referencing.
There was like a teddy bear guy.
There's Kree aliens in there. A couple other things. I don't think
there's one that looked like a tapeworm.
A lot of weird, like very weird aliens.
It was very like Star Wars coded to me.
Yeah.
Fair. It reminded me of a movie that had recently come out called Stay Tuned. I don't know if anyone ever saw Stay Tuned. It's a movie where John Ritter and his wife get stuck in TV shows, and there's like a weird and demons are the audience for that, and it kind of has that vibe.
I feel bad. I never liked John Ritter, so I was like, eh. But,
I recommend checking out Stay Tuned. It's a really funny, weird movie with a bunch of crazy, famous people in it. And they're about to remake it with I think not Bowen Yang, but like maybe Matt Rogers. I think Matt Rogers might be involved with remaking it.
Okay.
Somebody gay is remaking it, and it'll work even better as a story about a gay couple than it did about a straight couple.
Do you want to know who it is? It's Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells.
Andrew Rannells, yeah, that's definitely a show. That's definitely about a gay couple, and that'll be good.
It's going to be a TV show, not a movie.
Yeah, I think it will work as a TV show because you can have each episode be a different parody of a different thing, whereas the movie is like running through very fast parodies of a bunch of different iconic things. There's like Star Trek and American Gladiators and all the big iconic TV shows of the early 90s.
That's pretty funny.
Cool.
And this is going through that, right? Like we see a Miami Vice parody thing. We see an action show where the Punisher is the star and he's not being named, but it's clearly the Punisher.
Yep. Gladiator was there too, I think. They like turned 3 robots into the Punisher, Gladiator, and someone else who's probably another reference that I went over my head. But I loved all the sequences where they, every mini pilot show or whatever they want to call it, where they put each pairing into a different show. The Miami Vice one was very cool. Like it was just anyway. There's
just too much random stuff happening that isn't really related to the plot. That like, but if you're gonna watch any episode of this show, watch this one. Just it's so much fun and just random shit is happening all over it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, before we jump into it too far, I did have a question about the Blob. Right? That name? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Why can't anybody hurt him? Like you can't stab him with adamantium claws. You can't punch him with absolute super strength. You can't blast him with optic lasers. Like what is his deal?
I think that he's like
Oh,
invulnerable.
I don't know. Yeah, is he invincible?
Yeah, I think he is
How do you
not
beat him then?
invincible per se, but I think he just like I think his skin is maybe. I also think he doesn't feel anything. So the reason that he is so fat is because the only thing he can feel is food.
Hmm.
Tutti frutti.
It just seems like he is invulnerable. I've never seen him get hurt by anything besides like you can throw him through a wall, you can blow him away with a tornado, and he can fly and fall and just be fine and land on some ice cream, and everything just comes up fucking roses and ice cream for this fucking asshole every time. Come on.
Yeah, he's got an indestructible body.
His skin
Oh.
is like made of rubber or something. It's like
I think you
elastic
can knock
and
him out
blubbery.
with enough force,
Hmm.
but that's about it. Like his body's just basically
Huh.
liquid that has been solidified.
Same.
Gross.
Yeah, apparently now he can turn into a puddle and back. He can turn into liquid and back now. So he's even more blobby than before. The
Now
molecule.
I am the tutti frutti. Look at me. Look at me. I am tutti frutti now, he says. I assume.
He was in
Thank you for humoring me.
X-Men. He was in that Wolverine movie that was bad. The one of
Yeah.
Yeah, that
the really
one
bad
Wolverine movie that was
the
bad.
one that
Oh,
was bad.
the one.
No, the
Yeah.
first one is the only bad one. I think the second and third one are good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually like the Wolverine too.
Yeah, Logan was good.
But they
Logan's really
hired
good. Yeah.
what was his name? Kevin Durant to play him,
Yeah,
right?
great actor Kevin Durant. Like miscast. It's not his fault. I think should have been I don't know, maybe an actual fat actor.
Like
Yeah.
the
Who-
basketball
Well,
player played him?
no.
No, Kevin Durant, not Kevin Durant. Kevin
Oh,
Durant. He's an actor from Vancouver. He's actually a
nice.
rapper. He
At
first showed up
this,
on Dark Angel and Lost, but then he's in tons of movies. He's Little John in the Ridley Scott Robin Hood movie, etc. You know, he's
Mm.
around. He's tons of stuff.
they cast a not obese actor, I think, because they had a scene earlier where he's in shape, like
Yeah,
in
he's
the
jacked in the early stuff set in 1979, and then by
right.
1985, he's gotten all fat.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of
Yeah,
it is. It's weird.
no idea.
I think they kind of wasted the Blob in that continuity. But he's not a great character either. So
No.
Seems
Yeah,
like a
no.
simpleton.
He shows up a lot. Like he's iconic in the sense that he's just ever present, right? Like he's a mainstay of the Rogues Gallery, but there's not much
I mean,
dimension.
in this,
Ironically,
yeah, he's been around since the '60s. He was one of the first villains that the X-Men ever faced. Like he was a circus freak villain that didn't know where his powers came from, and then he joined the Brotherhood of Mutants when Magneto assembled it.
mm.
Mm.
So he's like definitely be an iconic early villain, but he's just never been that well developed. X-Men Evolution tried to introduce him as kind of like the fat kid that everyone was picking on, but then he got a crush on Jean Grey, and when she rejected him, that's when he became evil. Um, which is like trite, right? It's like that's the best they could do to try and make him justify his character. There's just not ever been they never really cracked who he is, despite it being around for 60 years.
Yeah.
I guess he has an appearance in X-Men Apocalypse and Wolverine versus Deadpool. Apparently, very short.
He's
But
in
yeah,
Wolverine versus Deadpool?
there's a overweight like marauder in like the gang that
Okay.
Cassandra Nova has, who everyone, I don't know if it's ever confirmed it's him, but people are just like, yeah, it's got to be
Because they
him.
recast all those people, I just didn't they're all just fodder
Yeah,
to me. The only one that really mattered was Pyro.
yeah.
Mm.
He
It was well written and it was really cool to see Aaron Stanford reprise his role.
yeah,
Mm.
he fights Angel in a boxing ring in an X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh,
All he
he's the
does
guy
is
who's fighting Angel, eh? I wonder who plays
yeah,
him
yeah.
because I don't know.
Doesn't
Oh,
say. I think he's just
I don't even
stretchered
remember
out.
who plays
It may have just
Angel.
been it may have been a prosthetic. I don't think he actually even moves. Yeah, who does play him in that?
I don't know. The guy who plays Angel is just some random beefcake dude that Brian Singer was probably into. He has no character in that whatsoever. I think they might even be trying to say he's not Warren Worthington because he's just called Angel, I think. Maybe they call him that. I don't know. He has
He's played
zero
by
character.
someone named Ben Hardy.
Ben Hardy?
Ben Hardy, the third Hardy
Maybe
brother.
he's Ed Hardy's kid.
He was also then in Bohemian Rhapsody, so you're probably right about him being just like a singer.
Yeah, like Bryan Singer just has these dudes that he casts in a bunch of movies that are very handsome and not the most deep actors, like or Daniel Cudmore, Brandon Routh. Like he just gets these guys that are just big and jacked. He puts them in a couple movies, and then he, you gotta wonder. You don't have to wonder, but it makes one wonder.
Yeah, can't help but wonder.
Yeah. Anyway, the crowd is really, really into we didn't finish that stuff. The crowd is really, really into the X-Men, and Mojo is stoked. The ratings go all through the roof. But then the characters seem to be dying?
Yeah, it's unclear what's happening. They get transported into like a poster or something. Like they're just turned into flat.
It's one of those
pictures of themselves.
Superman cube things, maybe.
Yeah, like yeah.
Oh yeah, the negative zone transportation thinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think we can move to the next one.
Yeah. And Jean's the one who figures out that like none of it's real. They're not really going to be hurt because he needs them. So he's not going to actually kill them or anything. So she uses her powers to
rom-com.
Jean.
Yeah, I dream of Jean. And she just kind of randomly uses her powers to like destroy their illusion, I guess. I don't really know what she did, but also Longshot showed up at the same time in the control room to shut it down.
Yeah, concurrently to everything they're doing, Longshot leads this rebellion, and there's part of me that's thinking like, is anything they're doing mattering? Is it really just Longshot and his rebellion is saving the day here? Because I think so.
Yeah, Longshot literally grabs and pulls down the cancel series lever.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. So good.
I love that exists. I think that really does exist at Netflix headquarters. There's probably a big thing that they'll gather around.
Yeah. And then so he frees the X-Men. They drop a bunch of shit onto Mojo, and they get sent home by Spiral, who seems to have turned on her master. And
Mojo's like, I'll crush you. You have no idea. This town belongs to me. You'll never eat lunch in this town. And then he gets crushed by a bunch of stuff that they knock down from the roof onto him, which is pretty great. From the ceiling, I guess. Yeah.
And then we get the ultimate teaser to what's going on in the Savage Land. We see another bit of Charles and Magneto. They're near Magneto Citadel, and they witness Sauron, a half man, half pterodactyl.
Yeah, this is actually a big introduction. Like Sauron's going to be a big villain for the show. Yeah. He's going to come back a bunch. He's another kind of character that's a vampire, essentially, where he's a dude, normally just a normal human, but if he can drain mutant powers from another mutant, he turns into Sauron. So I think he's kind of awesome. I've always been a big fan of Sauron. For the same reason that you were talking about earlier with the anthropomorphic characters, right? It's like he's an anthropomorphic dinosaur. You get both cool things.
And he's anthropomorphic in a way that just doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it just works, I guess.
Does it ever make sense?
He has like a normal ripped guy body and a pterodactyl head and wings. It's just it's really it is cool, and he just carries off this bikini lady.
Make sense?
You're telling me that there's 3,000 romantic novels at least on Amazon right now that don't have that exact imagery in them?
And about 40 are written by Chuck Tingle.
Pterodactyl romance novel.
Fucked in the ass by a space vampire from the X-Men comic books.
This is unrelated. One of these things that used to exist on the internet when I was a teenager that me and my friends would like Google and laugh at, that was like wildly inappropriate, or not inappropriate, just like disgusting, I guess. It was only known as like the pterodactyl porn. There was this like really lo-fi, like transferred off a VHS video of like a pterodactyl porn video where it's like a woman who in these really weird 80s looking dinosaur costumes were fucking her, and it was really fucked up.
Is it kind of like a gangbang situation where there's multiple pterodactyl people? I've seen it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I hadn't thought about that in a long time until we started talking about Sauron right now. And yeah,
He's just here for the gangbang.
just here for the gangbang. makes him running off with that bikini lady at the end of the episode really have a different tone for me now.
Yeah, you guys have seen Eyes Wide Shut, right?
Yeah, many times.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah, that.
Just like that.
That's the next scene.
Yeah. So the mutant powers are I guess just are part of what makes them cool in this, but I can't think of any specific uses.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Jean banishing to like just dispatch enemies, that's a new thing. Her powers are getting stronger this season.
She is for sure, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't much to single out there. It was more the world that I liked. I liked the novelty of like Mojo Bit World, and I don't know if it's called Mojo World, but
yeah, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. But I gave this like a strong, like this is like a 9 for me.
Yeah, this is also a 9 for me. Like nothing that they did helped them in the situation. The long shot thing is, I think, what takes away from it being a full 10. But it's a 9. It's a great episode. It's really fun. Yeah, and I think it makes the most sense without any preamble or exposition lore to get it, which makes it appealing.
9.1 even.
Wow.
Why don't you leave?
Best rating of all time.
You can just, the door is over here.
Well, I guess that's
Trying
all
to
the
Price
time
is
we
Right
have for tonight.
That's all we've got for today. Ben is leaving. Next week we're doing, I guess, Reunion Part 1 and 2.